Finding your niche is a major pain in the ass. There has to be another way. I think I might have figured it out by accident. I did this and then I got monetized in 6 videos. You don't need to spend endless hours researching to discover your niche. Instead, you can do this simple exercise and your niche will find you. It almost sounds too good to be true, but I'm not just sharing a theory. This is what every big YouTuber does, and it's what blew up my channel, and I did it by accident. But then I figured out why, and now that I understand it, I see it everywhere. And once you understand, you will too. If you're stuck in the endless cycle of trying to find your niche, you might be going about it all wrong, just like I was. I'm going to walk you through every pro's secret to growing fast and making the almighty algorithm love you. I even made a simple worksheet that you can use to make it even easier. It won't even take you 10 minutes. By the end of this video, you'll know how to trick the almighty algorithm into loving you, and I'll prove it works, or I'll ask you to ruin this video. More on that in a bit. So what the heck is this big secret? How do you discover your niche in 10 minutes? Well, it might not be what you expect. It turns out, you just need to make an audience avatar. But what the heck is that, and how do you do it? Go grab a notebook and let me explain. Hi, my name is Dave Jeltema, and I spent months trying to figure out my niche. And I couldn't do it. I got stuck in a loop where I couldn't figure it out. I got so frustrated and discouraged because every single person I looked up to would say how important it is. I would think about it so hard and get nowhere before saying, screw it, I'll figure it out later. But then I would never feel prepared enough to make anything, so I would double back and I would tackle it from another angle. But it never worked. I endlessly looped through this process, stuck for months. Eventually, I was able to convince myself to just start, even though I hadn't figured it out yet, which felt like taboo. And I only lasted 10 videos before I gave up. And the thought of finding my niche reared its ugly head once again, and I was stuck in that loop all over again. My arch nemesis, perfectionism, latched onto this thought hard, and it was a losing battle for a very long time. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of the biggest hurdles I've ever faced. I spent so long banging my head up against the wall, just trying to figure out what was wrong with me and why I couldn't do it when obviously everyone else could. I can finally say, I think I've cracked the code. And as everything always is in retrospect, it was kind of obvious. I knew the answer, I just didn't know it, if you know what I mean. I did it by accident. I didn't think I had a niche, but I built an audience avatar, and so it turns out I already had one. Kind of. The more I think about this, the more it makes sense. I hope that you'll follow along. I'd like to share with you what I mean by that, what I was doing wrong, and how you can avoid getting stuck like I was. So why does every single content guru tell you to pick a niche? And why have they recently changed their tune to tell you you don't need one? To explain this, I need to explain the almighty algorithm. Now that might sound a little impossible, and it's because it is, but there are some core truths and rules that I don't imagine will ever change when it comes to any algorithm on any social media platform, because they're rooted in good old-fashioned human greed. Let's get cynical for a moment. I'm sure you've noticed that at their core, algorithms are designed to recommend you stuff that you'll engage with. They track what you watch, what you like, what you interact with, what you share, and even what you hover on for too long. Then they use that information to feed you more of what they think you'll do that to even longer, until you're the most engaged they can make you. It's like being stuck in a loop of your own tastes. But why do they do this? Well, it's about keeping your eyes glued to the screen. The longer you watch, the more ads you'll see, therefore the more money the platform makes. Greed. And that's really all there is to it. Everything else is for this key motivation. Algorithms are designed to make you binge watch, binge read, binge scroll because your attention is worth money. It's like a Vegas casino with no clocks on the walls and all the exits are hidden behind the slot machines. So that's awful, but knowing it's half the battle. I value your attention, so let me get straight to the point. Now that we understand the game, we can play it better. Let's beat the system. Growing through content creation is hard. There are a lot of arbitrary rules that change every other day. It's next to impossible to keep up, let alone thrive. But now that we understand the purpose behind the almighty algorithm, we can stop chasing trends and trick it into promoting us. So here's the trick to growth. All you have to do is speak to the same person in every video. That's how you beat the algorithm. This is how I got monetized quickly, and this is how every other successful creator grows quickly. But how do you do that? It might not sound too simple, but it actually is. I'll walk you through it. We're gonna do a simple exercise. All you have to do is answer 8 questions, and there are no wrong answers. You can spend as much time as you'd like or as little as 10 minutes, and it will make a world of difference to your growth potential. It's like adding a 10x multiplier. You don't skip those. By the end of this video, you'll know how to make the algorithm love you. Also, After these questions, I'm going to make a bold statement, and then I'm going to ask you to do something for me that could ruin this video and stop my growth just as I'm relaunching this YouTube channel. And it makes me kind of nervous. So let's do this 10-minute exercise together. That way you can see how simple it is and how to do it for yourself. Let's take a moment to get into the right headspace. It's time to think like a writer. Imagine you're planning a novel, or a short story, or even just a D&D character. We're going to make a character together. We'll explore their backstory, motivations, and dreams. And I know it's cheesy, but it might help if you close your eyes. Or don't, that's fine too. Just do whatever it takes to get into the creative mindset. The key that really unlocked this for me was thinking about my younger self. The type of avatar that I want for my channel started there, and it's probably a good place to start for yours as well. It will grow and evolve through this process. But it doesn't have to be the old you. You could imagine it as one of your close friends, or maybe your sibling. The goal is to have someone that you are comfortable speaking to. If you plan to get in front of a camera, this can really help with camera confidence as well. We're going to craft a person to talk to, a specific person, not a group or a generalization, but someone with a name, your audience avatar. Let's start with question number 1. What is his or her job? It's a simple question, but it's easy to get stuck on. The reason I want to show you this entire process is because I understand how easy it is to get stuck on something as simple as figuring out their profession. Try to be more specific than, they work in fast food, I guess. Put yourself in their shoes. What is their day-to-day like? What industry do they work in? What are their career aspirations? This can really help in understanding not just what they do, but the context of their professional life. So let me use my avatar as an example to help you figure out how you can answer this for yourself. Meet Chris. Chris is a 27-year-old graphic designer who works full-time for a small marketing agency. They've dabbled in freelance work and managed to secure a few irregular clients, but it's inconsistent. Chris is skilled, but finds the freelance market to be crowded and competitive. So now try it for yourself. Where does your avatar work? What do they do for a living? And don't forget, I do have a worksheet that you can fill out if you want to grab it after this video. So then question number 2 is, what does he or she ultimately want? This should tap into their deeper desires and goals. Try to avoid the surface level wants. Try to get at the core of what drives them. Is it financial freedom, recognition, creative expression? Get to the core of what drives your avatar. This will be how they interact with your content. For my channel, Chris wants to become a well-established content creator, transforming their passion for design and storytelling into a stable, fulfilling career. They dream of having a loyal audience that values their unique perspective and creative output. Now, obviously, I don't expect everyone who watches my videos to be named Chris and work as a graphic designer. That's not the point. This is just to help you speak to the same person in each video. And remember, if you're having trouble, it can be as simple as talking to your younger self. Next, why does he or she want those things? We know what they want. Why do they want it? Try not to stop at the first answer that comes to mind and ask why after each answer you come up with. Do that 5 times so you can dig deeper. Why do these goals matter so much to your avatar? Are they rooted in past motivations, values, or ambitions? Understanding this can reveal their emotional triggers and priorities. Chris seeks more than just financial stability. They desire creative freedom and the ability to impact others positively through their work. Chris believes that achieving these goals will validate their skills and prove their worth both to themselves and to their peers. Yeah, that one hits a little close to home. Like I said, Chris is based on my younger self. Number 4, what if he or she doesn't get those things? Consider the consequences of unmet desires. How will their life be impacted? This question helps in understanding the stakes and can illuminate the fears or anxieties that your content could address. If Chris doesn't achieve their goals, they fear they might have to give up on their creative dreams and settle for a more traditional, less fulfilling career path. This is disheartening, but it motivates Chris to push harder towards their goals. Do any of these sound like you? They sound a lot like me. It's kind of scary. But hey, halfway done. Told you this was quick. Number 5, what are his or her biggest challenges to getting it? What are their external obstacles, like industry competition or financial constraints? But also, what are their internal barriers, such as fear of failure or perfectionism? This reveals pain points that your content can help them with. Chris's biggest challenges include overcoming self-doubt, navigating a saturated market of creators, and learning how to effectively monetize their content. They also struggle with time management and balancing client work with personal creative projects. 6, what happened in their past that led him or her to where they are now? Try to brainstorm a backstory that explains their current behaviors and desires. What are their defining moments that shape their outlook or career path? This adds depth and makes your avatar more relatable and realistic. Chris has always been the creative type, often getting praised for their artistic talents during school. However, after graduating, they faced the harsh realities of the creative industry. A few early career setbacks and negative experiences with overly competitive environments made Chris wary, but also fueled the determination to carve out their own path. 7. What about your content matters to him or her the most? This is where we relate this to you. It's all about alignment. What aspects of your content can resonate most with their needs or interests? Could you offer practical advice or inspiration? Maybe you just want to make others laugh and make their day brighter. Understanding this helps to tailor your content to your avatar. What matters most to Chris about my content is the authentic, practical guidance that I provide. They appreciate how I demystify the steps to becoming a professional creator and offer tangible resources like worksheets or frameworks. My personal stories of overcoming similar challenges are particularly inspiring to them. Yeah, it feels weird to say that out loud, but that's the goal. All right, last one, and this one is particularly important. How do you want him or her to leave feeling? When they see something you've made, how do you want them to feel? Focus on the emotional or transformative impact your content could have. Do you want them to feel empowered, informed, entertained, or motivated? Doing this helps in refining your tone and finding the purpose for your content. I want you to leave my channel feeling empowered and motivated and less alone in your journey. You should feel equipped with the tools and knowledge needed to tackle your next steps confidently. I want my content to instill a sense of possibility that with persistence and the right strategies, we can achieve our dreams. Simple as that. Answer those 8 questions, apply it to your content, and you'll train the almighty algorithm to love you. I think it's beneficial for you to take the time and answer each of these questions to the best of your ability because it's one of the best investments you can make for your growth. And don't worry, you can always come back later and refine things. This isn't set in stone. Like I said, there are no wrong answers. I've tweaked my own avatar a dozen times, and I'll do it a dozen more. But to make it as easy as possible, I took the time to turn this exercise into a worksheet for you. You can find that in the description. I'm going to shamelessly ask for your email when I send this to you and sign you up for my weekly newsletter, because I think that if you like this kind of stuff, you'll really appreciate the tips and inspiration that I send out weekly. But if that's not your jam, you can get this worksheet and unsubscribe immediately. No hard feelings. And if you're having a hard time answering some of these questions, in that worksheet, I've included a way for you to cheat. I provided a prompt for ChatGPT that you can use as a shortcut that will answer these questions for you. You can use it as a starting point, or if you get stuck, it's a great way to spark imagination. And now for the thing I'm nervous about. This is something that could ruin this video and all of the hard work that went into it. I want you to do something for me. If YouTube is doing its job right, you should enjoy this type of video. Probably found it pretty helpful or at least interesting. Does my audience avatar, Chris, do they sound like you? Do you fit? If you don't, then I want you to take a moment and give this video a thumbs down. And I'm serious, I want you to do that right now. I want you to thumbs down this video if you feel like that doesn't sound like you. I'm willing to bet the success of this video and my channel's growth on this method working. So do me a favor and thumbs down if that's the case. And I'll ask the opposite as well. Would you like to turn your hobby into a career? Does Chris sound like you? Then hit the like button for me. I'm literally trying to speak directly to you so that we can level up together. Hitting the like button tells the almighty algorithm that you like this kind of stuff and that it helps others like you to find it. My ability to make more content like this depends on you hitting the like button on the stuff you want to see more of. I need your help if I'm ever going to have any hope of quitting my day job. I would love to have the freedom to spend more time making dope like this for you. Thanks. Let's see how good the YouTube algorithm actually is. If you vibed with this video and you want to see more like it, this is what YouTube thinks you'll want to watch next. I wonder if it has any clue.